What's up, fight fans? What's up, combat sports community? Happy freaking UFC pay-per-view fight week. I believe we are live on the Twitter, okay? We are live on the YouTube. It says we're having issues connecting to the Instagram live. We will work that out in future recordings. But we got some viewers. I don't know how the hell we have viewers already. We just freaking... Is this my mom, your mom, and then our stalker?
You never know out there.
Oh, my God. You're telling me you're on Wi-Fi issues. My bar just went down to one little squiggle inside the baseball diamond-looking Wi-Fi symbol. I don't know how the hell we're going to get through this. We only have 6 picks, if I believe, right? Did I count it right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 picks. I think we can handle it. First and foremost, my man Adam. I know you threw a former coworker, but still a friend and a work brother, I consider, Zach Gelb, Mr. Big Zach Gelb. Even though he's slender and down, the dude's a monster on the microphone, but he's a big old gentle teddy bear, and that's how we met at UFC events. My man Adam Z, how we doing?
Yes, there he is. I appreciate you having me on here. Gotta love the man, Zach Gelb, for introducing us. You know, ever since we met, it's just been a brotherly bond over UFC, fighting, all that stuff. So glad to be here with you today.
And I know you got some pressure on you, not only to pick correctly, and I don't know if the mic's coming through here. We'll figure it out. Each setup will be better. I promise you, folks. I'm losing weight. I haven't had a carb in like a week. I can't wait to have deep dish pizza.
Oh, man, we got to give my man Ike a little bit of a breather here. He's cutting weight. He's got a little fight coming up tomorrow. So it's a big day all around for him, for UFC fans, and for boxing fans all around.
Yeah. And there you go, Zach. Adam can carry it. He can take the mic. But in the future, my idea of this is to have a Tony versus Michael Wilbon type of back and forth, because you're going down, you son of a bitch.
Listen, Ike, I hope you did your homework, but we're going to have some fun. So whenever you want to dive into it, I'm ready to go.
Before we get into the John Jones topic and then the picks, I want to know first and foremost, what is your betting fight pick'em style? What do you go by? Do you have a technique? I'm very simple with mine.
I'm very simple. I kind of just look. I don't dive too deep into it. I want to look at the guys. I want to see how they look at the face-off, at the weight cut, and that's how I'm going to make my decision. Ultimately, that's really it. I think you might be a little surprised by some things I'm going to say about Chavez Jr. later coming up, but that's that. I keep it simple and clean.
Wow! I appreciate that. Not many people pay attention to the weigh-ins or the face-off. I think you can really see something in eye contact, how long a fighter stays engaged on the stage with several thousand fans there in front of Dana White, dehydrated, and can they still keep that killer instinct? The most impressive thing about McGregor was that he looked like Skeletor, and that was the pre-morning weigh-ins, and yet he still stayed engaged at 4 p.m. on those Friday.
Those were the days, he was coming in at, 135 pounds, and then, or was he 145? And he was looking
that's
real.
Your first ex, 135 pounds. He's not fighting Marab. Come on.
What? He was 145, but he was looking bad.
Yes.
Yeah, so the moving up was big time for him. I always find it funny. The joke with Ilya Taporia is Dana White always leaving his water cup right in front of Ilya.
You saw the recent one?
He did it again yesterday.
But
I did see Dana actually picked up the water cup. He put it in front of Charles instead. So.
Yes. Meanwhile, Charles probably needed that water too.
I know. Charles always goes through a rough cut every fight. I don't know how he does it. It looks worse and worse every time, but I didn't think he looked too bad on the scale actually today, so we'll see what happens tomorrow.
But you mentioned it, the moving up in weight, Ilya Taporia, or Conor McGregor. It is a theme here with Taporia, who is kind of like a copycat of McGregor in a sense, with the suits, the back tattoo, the grabbing of, I believe it was Volkanovski's belt, and now the moving up in weight. So there are a lot of parallels between Mr. Taporia and Mr. McGregor. I'd be super impressed if Taporia could bring a fight back to Spain as a champion, which McGregor could never do. We could never get that Croke Park championship fight with the 80K fans screaming.
I know. I think we all would have loved to see it. I think it's one of the most disappointing things we've seen in UFC history is McGregor never being able to defend the belt, unfortunately. But we have Ilia Topuria now, personality-wise, seems to model himself after McGregor, which some people hate it, some people love it. I think it's pretty good for the fans. And listen, I think tomorrow's going to be an unbelievable fight from both sides. If Ilia does win, I think he is very deserving of a hometown fight in Spain. So I'd love to see it.
You know what I just realized? Was it Bill Plaschke on Around the Horn? He always had the office behind him. Back in the day, I think that's what I'm pulling right here. Even though the sound probably sounds horrible, sounds like I'm hiding from USADA in a closet right now, like John Jones used to be. So speaking of John Jones, we got to get to this. That's all I had to write for the caption. John Jones news.
Yep.
Or maybe it should just all be lowercase because it's all the same crap over and over and again. Say what you want. Talk to me when this came down the pipeline, when you first heard about it, what were you first feeling?
When Dana made the announcement at Baku, I think at that point I was already, it was maybe 6 p.m. here in New York time. I got a few texts from people, I think you included. I can't say it was surprising. I don't think anybody could have taken it as a surprise. I thought it was a little disappointing in the way that they made the announcement, but ultimately, I believe Tom Aspinall was the one who said nobody's going to remember the announcement. They're just going to remember what happens in the next fight. So I think I can align myself with that. We'll move right on past it. I did see John Jones said something today about how he made the choice to retire in November after the Stipe fight, but the UFC was making him reconsider. And I'll be honest, after reading that, I don't want to hear about this anymore. I think the more we hear about it, the worse it gets. And I think Dana, Hunter, the UFC, they got to do whatever they can to just stop the talk from here on out. And I think we got to move on, figure out what's going to happen with Tom, maybe announce his next fight. But other than that, I think I don't really want to hear any more about it because to me, it's getting worse and worse.
What do you think about the whole theory? And I am deep in the MMA Twitter or the MMA X. And guys, if you're on the YouTube, if you go to the description, you can join the show. We'll pop you in if you have any questions, any picks coming up for the UFC 317 pay-per-view tomorrow night. If you're on X, I'll throw below the post. Adam, you got to make an X account if you don't have it, or I got to follow you.
I have one. I'll send it to you.
Yeah, follow me, and then you'll see the post, reshare it. If you guys want to join this show. But my point is of bringing up X.com was a lot of fans are speculating that after the February 21st, I believe that's what the body cam footage said, and I'll just spend 1 minute on that in a second, but that he skipped off to Thailand to avoid, like, this happened. He was like, like, I can't be threatening cops about slitting throats. And I know evil people who can, like, kill you for less money. Like, he's thinking he's Pablo Escobar. But meanwhile, 2 years or 3 years earlier, he's crying, saying, I took criminal justice. I wanted to be like you, police officer. And now he's threatening that same officer. I mean, very confused. But yeah, what are your thoughts of that? He skipped off to Thailand for a couple of months.
It's an interesting line he jumps back and forth between. I don't see anybody being able to really have sympathy for him in his private life, whatever he does. He's really never out of trouble. I think he went to Thailand he's doing the Russian reality show. I believe that's what he's there for. He was supposed to go head to head. Nate Diaz was the other coach. Nate and his team left after they had like a big scrap with one of the fighters. To me, John seems to be enjoying himself in Thailand. I guess I would say there's no extradition law in Thailand. So however you want to look at it, maybe he's running away from his problems here in America. Maybe he'll come back once the filming is over and deal with it. Honestly, I don't know. He's retired now. Maybe I think that's what really happened. That might have been what played into him retiring and going over there.
I think you nailed it. He's running away from his problems, literally and figuratively. The first time we heard the issues with this man was that he was leaping fences like Marion, was it Barber? No. Who was the Marion Jones?
Yep.
What was it? Albuquerque 2013, maybe 2011-ish. I forget where the hit and run. He hits the pregnant lady, not directly. She was in another car. I know the headlines were kind of skewed on that one. But again, sprinted away from the scene. And then again, another car, another hit and run, and then literally runs off to Thailand. I think that statement of he is running away from his problems couldn't be more true if he could face it, if he could be sober, if he could connect with his spiritual higher self. I think he would literally improve. I think John Jones can't be in between. I don't think he can have too much time on his hands. I think he needs to be fully focused, activated in the training camp, as we saw 2019, Anthony Smith, Thiago Santos, Dominic Reyes, back to back to back. Or can just super disconnect and go off to like some Buddhist temple and away from his phone, because Johnny Meat on Twitter is a freaking detriment to himself. As you were mentioning, you just saw a message from him. That was probably from his Twitter. Yep. Somebody needs to rip that away from it. That's why I think right now he's in the middle ground, and that's when he gets in trouble. The negotiations. Whenever he's in the negotiations, what was it? I want Deontay Wilder money. I was coming off the Dominic Reyes win in 2020, right before COVID. And then he goes to jail for getting inducted into the Hall of Fame and then enjoying himself way too much in Vegas and going into jail the same night he gets inducted in the Hall of Fame.
Which that arguably to me is like got to be one of his biggest lows. It's probably one of the biggest moments of your career. You know, you're doing pretty good from a legal standpoint. You kind of were staying out of trouble for a little bit, and then now you get this award, this honor, and that same night you slip up again. He just can't seem to lay off the bottle. I think the biggest problem for him is that even when he was young and he first became the champion, he said he was going out and partying till like 3 a.m, maybe even 4 a.m, drinking as much as possible the day before his fight. And I think, you know, unfortunately, that's probably his biggest downfall, is that if he was that good at fighting during that time and getting that drunk, it's only going to make him worse, I think, after. So, I
think that's the definition of a hot take.
I'm getting told I got to cool it down here.
Okay. Let me.
You okay? Let me know if you need help.
Can I mute you from my end? No, I can't mute you.
Yeah, let me know.
Oh, wait, I can. All right. You're good. This is great. Have you ever seen the Always Sunny in Philadelphia episode with the fire alarm?
No, I haven't.
Oh, my. They can't find where it is in the house.
Oh.
Please tell me you're a fan of that show at least.
Oh, we're good. Yes. Okay. It is. Very good show. Hilarious show.
Dude, great dramatics. Great intro to media. I freaking love it. Oh, my God.
We seem good now. I believe it was a hair dryer issue.
Guys, if you just tuned in, Adam Z just had the hottest of all hot takes that he set off the fire alarm. Are you freaking kidding me? John Jones, let me know your thoughts and comments. No, I just got a comment from the StreamYard bot. You are live. Okay, no comments yet from the fans, but tune in. I appreciate you guys. I see your eyeballs. We are friendly. We're not going to bite your head off. You're more than welcome to jump in the stream. Give us your thoughts. Picks, underdogs of parlays. I know those are very popular now. I just heard, have you heard of the parlays that if you bet 7 picks, you can cash out at number 5? Like if you get 5 in a row and it says like, do you want to like double down or keep going? You could have 80,000 in the bank, but if you got 14 correct or 10 more correct, like you could have $1 million. Would you pull out at 100,000 or would you go for $1 million?
So this brings me back. There was one time I believe it was for the Duplessis Adesanya fight.
Oh, you are better.
I personally actually don't bet. I don't like betting on fights as much as I love the sport. I don't like betting on fights because anything can happen. It can take one lucky punch. Who knows? But I do give my picks out to a lot of friends. And there was one time our good friend Zach Elp, who introduced us, I had given him a parlay. He had won, I believe it was a 5-fight parlay he took. He won 4 of them. He just had to win. I told him to take Duplessis in the Adesanya fight. And
Wow.
he was debating, do I cash it out or do I hold out for the end and see what happens? And I told him, don't cash it out. Don't do it. He stuck with it. Luckily, he won and he came up big. He had a very big win that night. My man, he did buy me a beer that night for giving him the parlay. But next time I told him I might need a little 5% cut.
Dude, my friend asked me who's going to win Usman but whoa, see, must have been a fire pick, I guess. My friend asked me who's going to win Usman Buckley, and I said, oh, casually, I think Usman gets it, 5-round decision.
Yep.
He texted me back Monday morning, dude, thanks, you just paid for my whole Atlantic City weekend. I put 500 down and won. I go, whoa.
That's
I didn't know that was at stake.
Yep.
I would have not been so casual, but maybe that helps because I asked you before, what do you look for when you bet? For me, I don't look at the money lines.
No.
I think that sways me. And it just popped up literally before recording. Pisses me off that I saw that Ilia Topuria is a minus 485. So do you want to get into the main event and we'll work our way down?
Well, let's do it.
All right. Let's go, you son of a bitch. It starts now. Ilia Topuria, Charles Oliveira, we know the whole story. We got Chucky Olives, former champion. It's such a weird thing that happened with the Justin Gaethje, I believe, at UFC 276. But he dominated Gaethje. We know the great reign that Charles Oliveira has had. Is this taking him behind the yard and pulling out the big double barrel and pulling the trigger? Is that what this is? Is he just a name with millions and millions of followers, and Ilia Topuria is putting his head on the chopping block and getting it done? Let me know.
I mean, Charles Oliveira, most submissions with 16 in UFC history. As you said, dominated Justin Gaethje. I think the game plan for Charles is going to be what he did against Gaethje, knowing that Gaethje is just as much of a striker as Ilia Topuria is. We haven't seen much of Ilia on the ground.
Less clean.
Yes, less clean. Ilia is much more cleaned up, a lot more technique. But, we haven't seen Ilia on the ground much. I believe he has maybe one submission win. And I think Charles's game plan, Charles's issue is he gets hit a lot. And I think with the power of Ilia, he needs to avoid getting hit in the first 2 rounds as much as he possibly can. I think the game plan for the first 2 rounds is he's got to tie him up, he's got to take him down and just get that control time. And I think when we get to the 3rd round and beyond, I think that's when Charles can shine the most.
So is that a firm pick on the big underdog?
Your
heart's in it.
My heart is in it. I love Charles. The man does not have a single hater. You can't hate on him.
No.
Ilia is the most clean, strategic, best fighter we've seen since the early days of Adesanya. And I really think it could go either way. I think Ilia loads up on a lot of his punches. I mean, Ilia throws for the fences with every punch. And I think that could either get Charles in trouble, or if Charles has good striking defense, if he could duck some of those punches and maybe get a hold of Ilia's back early when they're nice and dry, maybe in the 1st round, we might see Charles grab a neck and get a quick submission win. I really think it could go either way, though. I'm split down the middle. It's really tough for me to pick a winner here.
Oh, my God. You're confused. Unbelievable. No wonder why the freaking fire alarm's not going off. That was cold. Guys, very simple. Follow the money. Who does the UFC want to win this? They want Ilia
They
Topuria
do.
to get that champ status and to make a potential crossover fight with, I don't know, Islam Makhachev coming back down. And then you have the huge fight between Islam and Ilia. And that could be in Abu Dhabi. They could build a freaking 100,000 arena spot in Abu Dhabi if they wanted, or any Muslim country, or the Spanish countries. What is it? Alcante has like some 80K fan stadium. Oh, did I just?
Need a little motion sensor.
What is it? Yeah, I'm son of a gun. Where's the light thing switch in this? My point is, follow the freaking money. Follow money. I got Ilia Topuria winning TKO round 3, 100%. This is no offense against Chucky Olives. He's a fan favorite, as you said. So I think there might be a little picking with your heart on this front. And the reason why he has so many followers and American and English-speaking fans and doesn't speak of lick English is because of his, what the kids say nowadays, his aura. The man literally oozes aura tenfold. And everything he does, the way he shakes people's hand, the way he waves to the fans, the way he enters the octagon is modest, but yet he's one of the most entertaining fighters in UFC history to watch. As you mentioned, 16 submission. He might be top 5 for finishes of all time. That means combining the knockouts and the submissions.
Yep.
But as Ilia is pointing out, Charles has 10 losses. Charles is a previous generation, and it's his time. And I don't think he has to stir up any animosity towards Charles Oliveira. When you see their face-off, completely respectful. It reminds me of the first Pereira-Prohaska. Whenever you see complete respect between two absolute gladiators, that to me is going to be a bloodbath. And I think Ilia looks noticeably bigger. As much as people want to poke fun at the side-by-sides that he doesn't, look at the tree trunks where the power comes from his legs.
Yep.
Ilia is much bigger. He'll get the job done. And folks, as I started this rant before I shut down the power in this, I hope we're still on. Hi, Mom. Follow the money. The UFC, Dana White, Hunter Campbell, they're going to call Charles Oliveira at 2 a.m. in the morning, prank call him, ding-dong ditch, because they want to ruin his sleep, because Ilia Topuria is the cash cow right now.
I think you said a lot of good things. I think you're swaying me in the way of, I think for a better sake, I would bet on Ilia Topuria. But if you're just in it for the love of the game, I'm looking for Charles.
All right, this isn't a Kevin Costner movie, though. We got to pay some bills. We have to put the money, and I hate looking at the money lines. Minus 480? That's crazy. What do they know that we don't know? I would have thought 250, minus 250 at most.
Charles generally is a come-from-behind kind of guy. I know we've seen him in trouble a few times, especially against Chandler, another huge power puncher. He was he was damn near knocked out. We saw him come back, and then he actually knocked out Chandler. I think it's gonna be a tough fight for Charles. The key has to be just getting it to the ground and taking Ilia's back. If he doesn't do that, I have to go with what you're saying, and Ilia's gonna take it.
Let me point out one last thing. No offense to Michael Chandler. No offense to Justin Gaethje or Dustin Poirier. There's a reason why Ilia Topuria is a champion. He has that mindset. Yes, you can't learn jiu-jitsu in a 3-month training camp, 2-month training camp. Whenever he got the call, accepted the contract, and stepped into the gym for the first time, preparing for Chucky Olives. Yes, I get that. But what you can learn is defense.
Yes.
And I expect him, a super smart champion, because I believe the best fighters are the smartest fighters. Take that to the bank. And I believe Ilia is one of those. So, yes, I believe he won submission defense.
I will say I believe Ilya is a black belt in jiu-jitsu. I don't know
Yeah,
who
but
gave
so
it
is
to
Dustin
him.
Poirier.
I
So is
don't know who
Dustin
gave him
Poirier.
that black belt, but
Stop it.
definitely
Stop
not
it.
on the
Stop
level of a Charles Oliveira. So
it. Send him 2-3 years Dagestan. Forget.
I I agree. But for the betters out there, my pick for the betters, Ilya Taporia.
Can you pick a round? Can you pick? Is this going over the half mark? The 2 point was it 2 minute 30 second mark in the third round? Like, can we get
I
specific?
I want to say over 2.5.
Woo. See, I think a decision favors Oliveira. The 5 round experience,
Yep.
and if Ilya can't finish him, and it's like the McGregor Diaz, where Diaz is the bigger man with the more the more durable chin for the weight class, and Ilya's power is not translated, which would be a kind of Conor-esque arc as well for Ilya to move up to the higher weight class. That's a good point. If it does, so you're saying over?
Over 2.5. Yeah.
Wow.
I think so.
Oof.
Charles is seasoned. He's been in multiple championship fights. We've seen him in a lot of 5-round fights. I think I agree with you that Ilya is probably arguably one of the smartest high IQ fighters on the roster right now. But Charles has been around the block a lot of times. I think his fight IQ is pretty up there. I think he could get it.
Dude, I'm putting Ilya's IQ above Merab. I'm putting Ilya's IQ above, oh my God. I mean, it's up there with Islam. It's up there with, it's definitely greater than Pereira. Because
yes.
Pereira gets tagged. No, he's
I
wildly entertaining. He's our generation's Chuck Liddell. I get it. But in terms of IQ, fighting to their strengths,
Ilya's got to be top 2 in the UFC next to Islam. It's between the two of them, I think, for top 1 and 2 fight IQ.
And John Jones would have. I mean, he might
retired.
He's the greatest in cage fight night in competition fighter IQ in the world. But outside of that, he's the dumbest human being to ever walk this planet. I've said it before, and it's unbelievable. But
if John Jones studied personal life tape the way he studies his opponent's tape, he would be killing it in life.
By life tape, do you mean body cam footage? Like that dude might have more body cam footage on tape than actual octagon minutes. Like, you know how they say, what was it, Frankie Edgar, Javier Dos Anjos, Max Holloway, like the most minutes?
Yep. Most minutes.
Dude, nobody's passing his body cam minutes.
You're going to have to start charging him a tax on that.
Oh my God.
Taking up too many SD cards.
Oh, you're funny, but I still hate you. And we're going to the co-main event, which is Alexander Pantoja, the champ, versus Kai Kara-France. This is a complete copy and paste from Wikipedia. There's no way in my single life I've ever written the championship C. Like, so
the C in parentheses.
Completely got it from Wikipedia. But and again, thank you guys for tuning in. Follow Adam at, what's your Instagram? What's your Twitter or X?
Instagram _ Adam ZEE _. And my Twitter is the same.
Nice. That's awesome.
I had to do the underscores. Somebody already took the
ZEE. I like it. I got to figure out something like that. I'm good with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you guys want to comment, if you guys want to give a pick, your thoughts on John Jones, I put the link in the description of the YouTube video, and it's a reply below the X.com video. We will only step up our production quality. We had fire alarms going off. We have the somebody didn't pay the cable at my job. The power is out. We will only get better. This is funded by Zach Gelb Productions. So
there we go, baby.
But co-main event, I mean, talk about a trajectory going from barely making it through the Ultimate Fighter season 26. What was that? 2016? Was that the winner faces Demetrius Johnson season? Was that the Tim Elliott?
That must have been Mighty Mouse's last year in the UFC if it was.
Well, that's when we first learned about Pantoja.
Yep.
And now look at him. The dude has just entered another level. I'll think of a fighter who you could say Charles Oliveira. You could say Charles Oliveira, who had that trajectory where it was a losing streak, was
Yep.
at 145, and then finally just clicked. And Pantoja's on that. Love his coach, Pahumpa. I think he's an underrated aspect to his game. I thought Ashikora would have – I picked Ashikora. I was like, he's going to stun him. He's a massive, massive flyweight. He's not shy. I know it's his debut, but I feel like a Yuri Prohaska in Ashikora. Nope. Pantoja had his way with him. Takedown, submissions, got the job done. Kai Kara France, to sum it up, he's playing with house money. The fact that he's in this fight shows the depleted roster that is the UFC's 125 division. Let me hear your pick, and then I'll give mine.
So, I mean, you summed it up pretty well. To me, I don't really see how Pantoja loses this fight. I think he's just the more well-rounded, more superior fighter. Can't forget that Kai Kara France does have fire in those hands. I mean, we've seen him knock out, I think, more guys in that division than anyone else. So he's always got that chance. The run that Pantoja's been on, he's been in absolute wars. He's a dog. He's always fighting for it. I just don't see how he's going to lose with the way that he mixes the striking, the grappling, the takedowns. I just think Kai Kara France's biggest fight in this fight is going to be trying to keep it standing, and he's going to have to defend the takedowns, I think, if he wants a chance to win.
You know what? As I mentioned in the first pick, follow the money. You know, there's no – yes, was that your Casio watch that just went off? Yes, no. Folks. It is 6 o'clock on the Eastern New York – what is it, Starboard? Is that what they say?
It might be.
It's 3 o'clock in LA, and it's 8 p.m. in London. I'm going to follow the money here, too. As I mentioned, it's a depleted division. You need rivalries. Kai Kara France shocks the world with that overhand right. We get the big tongue, the throat cut. Israel Adesanya in the cage. Maybe Volkanovski is in Vegas. We saw him with Ilya saying hi to each other. Yeah, I can see it right now. I just got goosebumps. KKF gets the win, shocks the world, immediate rematch. Follow the money, folks. I'm telling you.
I think that would be very fun. I'd love to see a Kai Kara France knockout. Again, I just don't see how Pantoja loses unless he gets clipped.
Now, I forgot to bring this up. What are we betting? If we have 6 picks, if we split down the middle, nothing. But are we going to do a film push-up challenge? Are we going to do a film, some type of like hot wing challenge? And I have to see you put some type of – what do you want to do?
Oh, this is good.
Do you have a coin? Do you have a coin? I'm not going to reach into my boss's desk and look for coins right now.
I don't have a coin.
You don't have a coin? How are there 2 Jews recording and nobody has a coin? I'm going to flip my phone.
I don't have one.
Okay. All right. Pick. You want Black Mirror side, Matrix, or do you want cover?
I'm gonna go with.
Wait, you're flipping your phone?
No. I'm just testing out the weight for each side.
Folks, this is how he makes picks. I have an iPhone 15.
I'm gonna go with the back side.
I bet you would. Ladies, watch out tonight at Dorian's. He's going for the back.
Hey now, be on the Upper East Side if anyone's around.
I'm going in I'm going in the Matrix. I'm going for the Matrix side. All right, guys, I'm going to flip it and show you it on the couch. There's a couch. It's not a casting one. There's a regular couch. Here we go. I'm going for Matrix side. He's going for camera side.
Oh.
And then what? Then the winner chooses the bet. The winner chooses the bet.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, sure. Sure is the cousin of no.
Yeah. I'm good. I'm good with it.
Okay.
Oh, my man Ike takes the win.
I'm competing tomorrow, so I might take a week off. Let's do some type of hot sauce.
All right, let's do it. I'm in.
You know what? We're gonna do this in person then. I'm gonna. What's next week? No, July 4th. I will not be visiting you. July
I won't be around.
11th. I will
Okay.
be in your apartment.
Okay. Hot Wings Challenge.
I almost said I will be in your apartment eating hot wings, but that would have meant that I lost.
You'll be watching. You'll be watching me. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
This
Maybe
is
we'll have
big.
our good friend Zach Gelb maybe host a little Hot Wings Challenge in
You,
his studio.
you're not doing this to be contrarian, right? You picked Charles Oliveira and Alexander Pantoja. Those are your
Yep.
picks, right?
Those are my picks against
Okay.
you.
I want you to set this one up because I got to the event late. Is this the Joshua Van from the last UFC pay-per-view?
This is Joshua
Okay,
Van.
set it up. Take it away.
Joshua Van, he is on a quick turnaround. I believe this is a 3-week turnaround for him. We just saw him have a knockout win at UFC Newark, New Jersey. He's facing Royval, Brandon Royval, who I believe is the number one ranked flyweight right now, who just lost to Pantoja. So it's going to be a tough, scrappy fight. I believe Joshua Van, he's on the come up, young guy, new to the UFC. He's on a little bit of a streak right now. I think this is going to either be his third fight this year. So he's very active.
Oh,
Whether that'll play into him doing well, or maybe he's biting off a little more than he can chew here. We will find out.
Adam, keep going. I think we're buffering. Keep going.
I think, for Joshua Van to be fighting Royval, this is a huge step up in competition for him. Joshua Van ranked number 12, so to be fighting the number one contender, it's a huge step up in competition. I think we're really going to have to see what he does. I think Joshua Van, he's great on the feet, heavy hands, shows a lot of good combinations. He is 7-1 in his last 8 fights. So, momentum, he certainly got the momentum in his favor there. He is on 7-1 in his last 8, 4-fight win streak right now. He has good, solid takedown defense. And we haven't seen him on the ground much. So I think Brandon Royval, I think for him, maybe, Royval is a threat on the ground with submissions. I think Royval's game plan should be to take this down to the ground. I don't know if you really want to sit there and stand with Joshua Van for too long. As much as I love Joshua Van, I think my pick is going to be Royval here, just based on the experience and the step up in competition. I think Joshua Van has been extremely active. We've seen this kind of bite some guys in the butt a little bit. A 3-week turnaround, I think, is really, really quick. There's not a lot of guys that really shine on that quick of a turnaround. So I'm picking Royval here.
Yeah. I'm going Factory X's own. Shout outs to Mark Montoya, the very gracious, the very nice, very fight intelligent Mark Montoya's. Brandon Royval, he's touched UFC title challenger status.
Yep.
And the fact that the belt is a fight after him, I think he knows what's on the line. The broadcasters will be making that bridge between this fight and that fight. Joshua Van, as I mentioned with the who was it? Kai Car France playing with house money. I think he is excited. I don't think he will take as many chances as Kai Car France. I think maybe he's probably a little fat and high off that last win, and it's a tough turnaround. It's a nice payday, and he's going to get a lot of credit. He's going to get pay-per-view points. He's going to get his name out there. As he's walking to the cage, he's probably going to gain like 10 to 20,000 followers because Joe Rogan's just going to gush. Joe Rogan does not watch the fight nights. So the fact that Joe Rogan just saw his last fight, Joe Rogan's going to be the biggest Joshua Van fan. I'm telling you guys. And this kid has it all besides experience.
Yep.
Royval has the experience. I'm leaning towards the dirty dog.
I'm there right with you. I think the experience is going to be the biggest factor next to the amount of activity that Joshua Van has had this year. I think I love to see a guy that active. I'd love to see more guys have 3-4 fights a year, but I think at the end of the day, it just might hurt you a little bit. I think you got to give the body some time to heal. You want to have that rest period, and with the experience, I think Royval is just going to take it.
I'm going to push back a little on the body because he's so young and like he could do something crazy like this. I just think it's the mental recovery. That high of highs. As I said, Joe Rogan just called his last fight. Nobody knew who JV Joshua Van was before his last fight. And I just think that needs months to unwind and digest. And I think that confidence has led him to sign this quick turnaround. So it's a little bit of a detriment to have that much confidence. But hey, he's going to make a payday. I believe it's going to go a decision. And now you'll see him go away. You may not see him till 2026. He may take a long hiatus and come back and dominate. So, yes, he will be a problem next year, but this is Royval's time.
Yep.
Anything else on this fight?
No, we did see. So Joshua Van, to your point, he is only 23 years old, so very young there. That was a good point. We have seen him. He is a new name to some people, but we've seen him fight at Madison Square Garden in November 2023.
Are you going to Vegas tonight? Are you catching a red eye?
I wish I was.
So he's losing. If Adam Z is not watching him on a pay-per-view, then he's losing. It's plain and simple, folks.
I'll be watching from the couch. I won't be seeing him live, but my pick is Royval here, as much as I like Joshua Van as a young up-and-comer.
Were you a South Park fan? Or are you a South Park fan?
I am I don't watch it religiously, but I do love the show. I like the sentiment.
Do you know the reference to the scientist that makes some crazy prediction and just goes, tuna fish, water, sea, can. And it's just he goes from one thing and then says, yes, that's why the aliens are taking over. And that's how I feel with Joshua Van. Because Adam Z is not in the building, pouring his love and attention on this young fighter, he's going to lose. So that people go, what the hell are they smoking? But watch, I'm telling you, Dirty Dog's going to win the decision. Put your money on the decision, especially flyweights. No offense to them. Obviously, Haikar France and Pantoja are freaking killers. I think that fight will be a finish. The flyweights, generally, they don't get that many finishes.
Right. It's just the nature of, smaller size, which goes back to what we were saying before. Haikar France, I believe, has the most knockouts in that division. We just don't really see that kind of power from those.
Apparently,
those guys.
What was it? Was it Kaikar? Is it Kaikar France has more knockdowns than the UFC heavyweights? There's some crazy stat too. Than active UFC heavyweights. There's some crazy stat that I believe it. I believe it's Kaikar France.
Is it that he has more knockouts than any
knockdowns?
More knockdowns than any
than like an active UFC heavyweight. That's crazy. Like it's crazy. And even if it's not him, even if it's Charles Oliveira, that's still a 155er versus a 250-pound fighter. But we got our stats team on it.
Yeah.
Moving to the next fight, Beneil Dariush, Jesus' own Beneil Dariush, and Hanato Mani Moicano, two fan-favorite fighters, two fighters who have been around the block and have made it out on the other side that are probably millionaires, doing well, company men. Dana White loves them, fan loves them. It's a hard fight to pick. Is this going to be a love fest where they come out in this third round and hug each other a couple times and they both get on the mic and he's like, Elon, where's my Tesla Cybertruck? And then Hanate Moicano is like, I need the money to buy the Cybertruck. Like, what are your thoughts on this fight?
I love this fight. I love the both of them. I think they're both very fun. They bring great entertainment. In this fight, it's the battle of the old men. They're both 36.
Oh, no, but he's older by, was it 10 or 14 days?
15 days. 15 days. But Moicano said it himself at the presser last night. He is balding and Dariush isn't, so he feels that he is older. So we'll see what happens here. It's gonna be tough. I personally, my pick for this originally in my head, I was going with Moicano. I think Dariush kind of over the last year dealing with some injuries. He's had a few. I know he's dealt with some mental health issues with where he is in his career. Is he leaning towards retirement? So when I kind of hear those things, I believe last year was dealing with a torn meniscus. That's why we didn't see him fight. I think Moicano, his last outing, I believe was his last outing against Islam when he stepped in for
That's
Arman.
a good call. That's a good call.
And I think it's a really tough pill to swallow for Moicano having to step in against Islam. But what are you going to do? Nobody's ever going to turn that down.
He got paid to step up.
That's what I'm saying. You're never going to turn that down.
He's the money man. We know that.
Exactly.
Yeah, Islam. That was in January. Wow.
Yeah. I believe.
And he took no damage in that.
He took no damage. It was really, I think Islam was there to just make quick work of it, which is what he did. Quick submission, easy day in the office for Islam. I believe Beneil also, in his last two fights, lost by knockout. So coming off of 2 knockouts and a year layoff due to a torn meniscus, I just think it's going to be a little tough versus a guy who's been active. He's got a lot of traction. I'm picking Moicano on this one.
All right. Yeah. We are the last two the same. Yeah, I'm leaning towards Money Moicano. Follow the money I've been saying. That's been the theme for my picks. Yeah, follow Money Moicano, and we'll still get a great post-fight interview in the cage with Beneil. He might hang it up. I'm getting these weird feelings, man. It's
with
like
Beneil?
Yeah, I could feel that.
I know. I always loved Beneil so much. I thought he was maybe a little slighted. I thought the UFC should have given him maybe a title shot a few years ago. Ultimately, they didn't. He ended up losing to was it
Arman?
Well, yes. So he lost to Arman. Maybe they should have given him the title shot then. They gave him Arman instead. And I think since then it's kind of maybe that was like the last days of Beneil. And so I think the title is it's a little bit out of arm's reach for him. And this might be coming down to the end of his career.
It probably is the retirement fight for him. And whether we see him fight again or not, he will always be around the UFC. I think he won like the Forrest Griffin Award for like Good Samaritan, like the Walter Payton Award for NFL. So he's a good guy. He got his Tesla. He will be in the mix. Moicano wins this fight, back in the win column. Only fun fights for Moicano from this time out. That's all I want. It's only fun fights. So, yes, we are in alignment with that. We both – no, we don't. One of us, Tapora, different on the main and the co-main, but the last 2 fights, both of us got Brennan Royval and Money Moicano. This fight is very interesting. Rodriguez, I could have seen him challenge for a title. I could have seen him fighting Jamal Hill, fighting Khalil Roundtree, fighting Yuri Prohaska, but he slowly come down the pecking order in is this at middleweight?
It is, yes, middleweight.
Yeah. And then moving down in weight, especially for a guy that big, it reminds me of like a Paul Craig. And to me, it's a little drastic. It's a little too much. And not everybody's Jose Aldo, where they can look better against a devastating striker like Marlon Moraes in their debut in a new weight class. Not everybody has that championship caliber. I love RoboCop. He has just a gentle aura about him. Again, doesn't speak a lick of English, but is a fan freaking favorite. Does he KO the Joker? I say the Joker he hasn't got dinged much since that loss to Jared Cannonier. He's done a good job at wrestling.
Yep.
And hey, he's kind of fought the freaking boogeyman at 185 in Joe Pfeiffer. So he's seen a big marauding guy. I like Hermanson to make this gritty, gas out the bigger Rodriguez, drag it to the mats, push him against the cage, make it dirty, get his hand raised. The Joker's back.
I mean, I fully agree. You pretty much touch on all the points that I wanted to. I think the last time we saw Jack was against Joe Pfeiffer. He won. He has had a 16-month layoff since then. He's been dealing with some injuries, but I do agree with you. I think he'll make it dirty. I think he has the better gas tank, and I think, getting into that third round towards the end, I just think he's going to hold up more than RoboCop will, and I'm going to pick him to win in a decision.
Wow. I was hoping you would carry that a little more. I'm pulling up a website. So let's see if I can do this. I think I could show a tab. No, not Pornhub. What do I want to show? Okay.
What are we looking for?
Can you see this?
No.
You don't see the you don't see the betting odds? Oh wait, I have to add before on stage. Okay, I removed the song. Okay, there we go. Guys, don't buy a subscription to something unless you want.
Here we go.
Get better at it. Okay. Where's the UFC? They always do this. There we go. Can you see this?
Yeah.
Okay. So I love this site, PES Fight Odds. They show us an array of betting sites. So you don't just have a DraftKings or a FanDuel number. You have several numbers to look at. Taporia, I don't know how you're picking all those. Kaikar France, you probably don't know why I'm picking KKF. So that's funny. We're flip flop on the
that'll be a good
on
one.
that. Moicano, I think it's a bigger gap than minus 162. I think.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think
don't know how they
Moicano's kicks are going to be the deciding factor. Those calf kicks. Going back to Calvin Kattar, UFC 223 will be a factor. Moicano's fun to fight, great
jiu-jitsu. Does Calvin have a fight coming up? I feel like we haven't seen him in a while.
Yeah, he's doing commercials with Rob Font. Give him a break.
I did see that commercial.
I had the double look. I was like, wait, is he choking at Rob Font? Did they agree to that? Does Rob get more money because it's like his reputation's now immortalized as being choked out by Steve?
Oh, Calvin Kattar's got a fight, UFC Fight Night, July 12th on the Lewis Teixeira card.
Right, and hopefully July 11th, you're eating ghost pepper wings on video. We'll have to do the pod while you eat it. That'll be great. For each pick, a wing. For each run.
Man.
I don't know. Or Roy Val's a little bit of a favorite. I agree with. Wow, we were both picking Hermanson, the underdog. There's some money to be made there. If we parlayed Hermanson and Moicano, that's a good parlay. I know you got olives, but
if you really want to go for it, you could do Hermanson, Moicano, Kaikar France. That's a real big underdog parlay right there.
I might have to. But yeah, I just wanted to show the numbers where we stand. Wow, I can't believe Hermanson is that much of an underdog. Well,
yeah, that's surprising for me to see. Sometimes they put these numbers out. I don't know where they get them from.
Those people are geniuses, but in my opinion, I think we'll get there. I think
might be using AI a little too much these days.
Now, is the next guy a genius? Is he an insane man on the corner? Jake Paul versus Julio Chavez Jr. This is part of the Jake Paul plan, you would say. Conor McGregor had a whole plan. If you watch the documentary from years ago, the Notorious, the first one, the pre-Mayweather fight. Because the post one, I still never watched because to me that guy doesn't exist. No. I only live in the pre-Mayweather world when it comes to McGregor. So are we in the Jake Paul world where he's climbing? He says he's going to fight Canelo, and I believe he's going to fight Canelo at one point.
I don't. I mean, if we're realistic, I mean, I don't really see Canelo really entertaining that kind of fight, unless, I mean, the money's there, but Canelo doesn't need the money. I mean, let's be honest. He is what he's got to be like the highest paid boxer we see. Is he going to do it for the money? I don't know. I just don't know.
Yeah, but if Canelo's like 41,
How old is Canelo now?
he's 34.
Okay.
But he's got a lot of mileage, 34. So say 38. Say 3 years. Say 2
Okay,
years.
3 to 4 years.
I don't think he's fighting Benavidez. I would bet more that Canelo Alvarez fights Jake Paul than David Benavidez.
I think that might be a safe bet. It's so tough. I do think in order for that to happen, I think Jake needs to get a lot more traction of wins under, current boxers in his weight class. I think if he does beat Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., what is realistically next for him? Will he be ranked in the WBC, WBA? Is he going to fight somebody maybe like a Badu Jack maybe after? I think if he gets to those kind of fights, that's where we'll really see like a real test of who Jake Paul is. This Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. fight, I don't want to say it's a gimmicky fight. I think it's a little more than that. I think, you could chalk it up to defending a legacy versus building a legacy. If you wanna call it Jake Paul building a legacy, I mean, it's a little hard to say that for now. I think the only real boxer he's fought that's an active boxer is Tommy Fury, and I think we all saw how sloppy that fight was, and I think that was like a pretty big disappointment all around. Unfortunately, Jake hasn't really looked good the way that he does when he fights kind of these guys that are older and over the hill a little bit. I think Chavez Jr. dealing with, all the things outside the ring that he's had to deal with. I know he's had some substance abuse issues over the last year or so. I believe he's 1 or 1.5 years sober. So congratulations there. I think that's, a pretty big feat for him to come over. But when I look at Chavez Jr. in the press conference from yesterday, and I look at his eyes, I don't know what I'm looking at. He does not look like he's there. He looks like he's looking all over. He looks a little skittish to me. I feel like, unfortunately, I hate to say it, I think Jake is going to take it.
And it's not fixed, right? It's not fixed.
Who knows?
Who knows? Here we go.
No, I can't. No. It can't be fixed, especially against somebody like Chavez Jr. There's just no way.
Jake Paul's greatest resource is to not lose. He can't lose. The money train, the hype, the followers, the promotional opportunities come to a halt if he loses. And yes, the Tommy Fury fight, he lost. But he clamored for the rematch. He went quiet. He went to Puerto Rico, fought like 10 guys you never heard of. This, to me, is a step in the right direction where Chavez is a greater threat than a Mike Perry or a Ben Askren. Shout outs to Ben Askren. Prayers up for Ben Askren. Get better, feel better.
I hope so.
Staph Mercer is a nasty thing. Ben, feel better.
Pray for Ben.
But Jake Paul, the money train, everything stops if he loses.
Yep.
I think Chavez, as you say, is kind of just participating. He is getting a payday. He's enjoying the limelight. But he already beat his biggest battle, which is becoming sober and becoming present. But we need John Jones to hang out with Chavez a little more. I think the safest bet of the weekend is to bet on Jake Paul. As crazy as that
Yeah,
sounds.
I agree. I think, with all those factors that we've touched on, the fight is also a cruiserweight with a 200-pound limit, which also favors Jake. So I just, every fight that Jake has had, really, I guess, outside of the Tommy Fury fight, has always been in his favor, whether it's to do with age or weight or anything else. So I think it's kind of an easy pick to me. Unfortunately, got to say, gonna go with Jake.
Where's Jake? What do you guess? What do you bet the line is?
Oh,
Whoa. Yeah, that is, as I said, the safest friggin' bet of the weekend.
what is he minus what?
Can you see this?
250. I can't see the. I see the screen, but I don't see. We might be covered up here in the lower third.
Oh,
Here we go.
you see the boxing odds, or is it still on MMA?
No, we're still on MMA.
Oh, sons of guns! I went to the wrong tab. Guess what the line is?
What do we got? Is Jake like minus 250? And I don't look at this stuff, so
You see this?
is it that big? No, I don't see it.
Did I click the wrong tab again? Oh wait, I have to add it.
Here we go. Let's see.
You guys see this?
Oh my God.
You guys see? As I said, Jake Paul is probably the safest bet. Vegas agrees with
Who has
that.
him at minus 700?
Let's see.
Who is that?
That's DraftKings.
Oh my God.
Wow. That's
Sheesh. I mean, if you want to throw $10 on Chavez.
let's go to the props. Okay. It is okay. So what's it if it says over 8.5? Does that
This
mean
is
it's
what,
10?
10 rounds?
That's what I'm asking. The prop, one of the props says under 10 rounds over. I mean 8 rounds. So does that mean? Yeah, 10. You're right.
Over 8.5. Do you want to bet over 8.5?
Does Chavez have it in him to be a warrior, and his greatest feat would be making it to the final bell?
To the final, yeah, exactly.
What do you think?
I'm gonna say, I think Jake stops him within 8.
I think he stops him round 6 or 7.
I would say maybe late 7th round. Maybe we'll see a couple knockdowns before then, and then I think Chavez might end up, depleting.
I don't see Chavez with that Nate Diaz type of grit. Like Nate Diaz.
Chavez does have a really good chin, though. Historically, he's got a good chin. He's only been knocked down a few times in his career, and most of those knockdowns were from maybe body shots, like a liver shot here or there, but his chin holds up pretty well. But the issue, I think, really comes into the weight. I mean, where do we consider? I mean, the weight significantly is in Jake Paul's favor here.
It's at 190. I just see when I Google Jake Paul weight, it's at cruiserweight.
Yeah.
So 190.
I think it plays into Jake's favor a little bit.
Oh, excuse me. Does that mean 200?
Cruiserweight maximum of 200. Yeah, they can't.
Yeah. Okay. So they both. So that's Chavez is not.
That's what I'm saying. I think Chavez might have weighed in at like 190.
It says Chavez 197, Jake Paul 198.
Okay, he made it to 197.
But we know that Jake Paul is, and this says it's a career high weight for JCC.
For Chavez, yeah. That's why I think it's going to be, he might struggle with that a little bit.
Wow. Yeah, it's Jake Paul's world, and his opponents are living in it. That's all I'm saying is that Jake
He
Paul is the A side, the B side, and the C side to
I
this fight.
he's created his own world, and
Yes.
it's unbelievable how well it has worked out for him. I mean, could you really expect anything else when
Did
he's
you see
running
the
the
Piers
show?
Morgan?
I did. Yes, I'm glad you brought that up. I forgot about that. I did see the Pierce Morgan. I love that Pierce did call him out on on the age of the fighters that he fights. I thought that was funny. Jake did not seem very happy with that. Um, I mean, I think to Jake's point, realistically, I think for anybody of Jake's background where he came from, to turn it around and to train boxing and then to go in and fight these guys, I think it says something because there's no way anybody really his age is going to step in the ring with any of these guys. I think they would run away with their tail between their legs. So I give Jake the credit there, but in the sense of fighting the way that they are, I just like I think it's borderline bullying to me. I just let's see this clip.
Thank you.
I'm a killer. I get in the ring with the best people. And you get in the ring with a guy who's 50, he's literally nearly as old as me. The only proper boxer you fought was Tommy Fury, and he beat you.
Fought multiple boxers with professional records, including Mike Tyson himself.
Peak Tyson, you wouldn't have lasted 10 seconds.
And you versus going to the gym, you're still a fat ass. We can make up hypotheticals. You should go to the gym. If you went to the gym,
I've been twice this week. You
don't think I can be Mike Tyson. I don't think you go to the gym.
I think you're a great YouTuber.
You think that your opinion matters.
Well, why are you doing my show if it doesn't?
Oh, I'm just taking your audience to sell pay-per-views. I don't give a fuck about your show. Dumbass. This is a fucking business enterprise.
Oh, man.
Cheers, Jake. Really enjoyed that. I'm a killer.
That is, I mean, you got to say, Jake Paul, when it comes to promoting, it's gold. He's very good at it.
He's good. He's the best. He's a real life, like the Call of Duty troll, the Fortnite troll. He's a real life troll.
Yeah.
There's no way that was scripted, and it just Jake Paul can naturally just make headlines.
He knows what he's doing on the mic. That is for sure. He sells every fight so well. And I think, until he really gets the heavy, the big fights and the big names that are active, I think he'll always struggle and be in that world of like you're picking on the older guys that are over the hill at the end of their career.
It wouldn't be a Ike recording if I didn't glaze somebody. So let me just say, I respect Jake Paul. The fact that he gets up, gets in the gym, trains hard, is an exceptional at social media. He broke the Vine algorithm, and now he's doing phenomenal with his MVP promotions, and he's built up women's boxing. And I think he is the new age Dana White. What is he, 28? By the time that he's 50, 22 years from now, he's going to be freaking seen everything from fighting in the ring to promoting the fight to posting it on social media to seeing like a superior elite fighter like Amanda Serrano, what goes into her training camps. Like Jake Paul has really enthralled himself into fighting. For that, I truly respect him.
Yep.
But I can't wait to see him versus Conor. I can't wait for him to see Jake versus Canelo. Like, I think the Conor fight makes so much sense. I think Netflix now being a big player, especially with Canelo Crawford, you get Dana White on one stage and Jake Paul on another stage. Sorry for boring you, Adam.
No.
I think you can have one of the greatest promotional hype tours ever.
I mean, I fully agree. Dana White on one side, Jake on the other. Conor, Jake. I mean,
Logan. You have Logan and
Logan. I mean, it would just be it is the
Put
promoters
Ariel on the Paul's side
with Ariel. Oh yeah, yes, they do. Did Ariel do the press conference last night, or
he's always involved in the MVP promotions?
He's always yes.
Him versus Dana White. Imagine with two mics in front of them. Dana, you said this. Ariel, I will kick it. Like,
I
that-
mean,
dude,
it would be a fighting fan's dream to see that happen.
And McGregor doesn't have to train
No,
double
he doesn't.
days for 6 days a week. He could
It's-
train 3 to 4 days.
It would be so good.
He could literally fly to Ibiza, punch somebody in the club, come back, go to the gym, fly out, snort a line, come back, go to the gym. Like every other day, he could drink, be hungover, get in the like, and he could be fat. Like he could be 195 pounds.
I think for Dana's sake, I actually think it would be the best thing for him.
There's no kicking for Conor. No kicking.
Because, well, right, one, it's straight up boxing. You don't have to worry about, I mean, if I don't see Conor really ever coming back to the octagon to fight MMA. It's not happening.
Promotion, please. This is the fight.
So if Dana wants to get his money's worth out of still having Conor under a UFC contract, that's the fight to make. You promote it. If
the fact that he was scared by Michael Chandler, he fought Chad Mendes on a torn ACL, UFC 189.
I know. I can't believe that.
Alex Pereira had broken toes against Yuri Prohaska, the rematch. Or maybe it's the Khalil Roundtree. Conor McGregor had 4 weeks with a broken pinky toe. It ain't happening.
Marab fought with his broken pinky toe.
Marab's a savage.
That
couldn't be the more opposite of Conor. A guy who is not drinking, not smoking, who says, you smoke more, I train more, or you need to stop smoking, I need to start training. Like what? Like Marab couldn't be more opposite of Conor McGregor.
Yeah, this is true.
So and I don't feel like you're offended by Conor. Like you ruined me. You're not a role model. It's like it is what it is. Yeah. Let's work with where we're at.
Right. I agree. I think. I mean, Dana White, to me as a promoter, you got to be licking your chops when you just see how amazing. If you went on a 3-month press tour for that, they would.
No offense to Canelo and Crawford, they're amazing tacticians. Well, they're amazing tacticians.
Right. That's what I'm saying. If you watch what Dana's doing with them right now, and I mean, it's getting pretty chippy, these press conferences that they're doing. There's certain points that are good to watch.
Fuck you, fuck me.
But Canelo doesn't give you much, man.
I know. But
Bud Crawford just saying, I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you.
If you look at the way that they're structuring that, and then if you throw a Jake and a Conor in there, it would be astronomical.
Get the Sheik involved. I know I just throw him around for everything, but he solves all the problems.
Let him write a check. I mean, come on. Wow. If I had the Sheik's money,
I can't believe I'm saying this. I don't know what fight I'd rather see more: John Jones and Ngannou, or Jake Paul McGregor.
Get them on the same card. Get them on the same card.
Now we're getting ridiculous.
You have the Octagon. Think about it. UFC and WWE are owned by the same parent company. You have the Octagon. Let Paul and McGregor fight first, and then we'll see the cage come down from the ceiling, just like it does in WWE. You bring out Jones and Ngannou. I mean,
Allegiant Stadium.
They got a roof. Dana can't argue that.
Yeah, I know.
They've got a roof. Any stadium with a roof is fair game.
Wow, dude. If they just 2 fights, right? And you do a concert.
Give me those 2 fights.
Concert in between. You could do a concert in between.
You could do a concert in between. I mean,
oh my God.
I think it would be unbelievable. Maybe do some type of. Maybe you get a 3rd fight in there. Maybe you have one warm-up fight. But I think you could just do a whole night with just those 2 fights.
Dude, they can pull that off. Like the Sheik can make that.
I mean, I'm seeing it right now.
The cage up and down.
The cage coming down. Like it's WWE. Like, oh man.
Yeah. So Conor has to be second, right? Conor Paul. Sorry, Jones and Ngannou are the bangers.
Yeah, I think.
But they aren't on the level of worldwide.
I think just in terms of who appeals to a wider audience between Paul and McGregor, they would have to go second. They would have to be the main event.
And I don't want to hear anybody complain, whoa, you had a 40-minute intermission. It's like, you idiots, just enjoy it.
Part of the show. It's part of the show.
Do they have to do a 5-fight undercard with like Duplessis, Hamzat?
No, I don't want. You
No
can't
distraction.
water it down with that. This is like a once in a lifetime, like once for the millennial age. Like this is all we want. We want 2 fights. Start the card at 9 o'clock. I mean, come on, don't make me wait. I don't want to see the main event at 12:30 at
Get
night.
everybody involved. Jay Glazer, Joe Rogan.
Bring everybody.
Okay, have Joe Rogan on the cage, and then you do Max Kellerman on the bottom.
I was just gonna say, get Max Kellerman in there.
Stephen A. Smith could carry on the desk. You do Stephen A.
Everybody.
Charles Barkley. Who's your desk? Who's your like? Rob
Gronkowski. Throwing Charles Barkley in there just
throw Rob. Like to me, Rob Gronkowski, Charles Barkley. Like
ESPN. Whatever happens with the UFC, I know they're renegotiating, but if you do ESPN, they could have 5 desks, and you could flip through on the app whoever you want to listen to.
Throw it to Brendan Schaub, throw it to Theo Vaughn for like you know how who is it? Rob Riggles for Fox.
I think so.
He does the lighthearted here's Mike or Kenny main event Theo Vaughn now. You could touch that audience. Yes.
I mean,
there's
would be so good.
200. What is it? 280 subscriptions. Netflix, I believe, 280 million.
80 million. Yeah, it's something like that. It's up
and
there.
I believe the people who saw were 130 million for Tyson Paul, and the households were 65 million.
Yeah.
So it obviously passes 130 views. I think we're talking 200 million.
I wouldn't be if you got that to happen within the next 3 years. I think it could do the biggest numbers we've ever seen for a fight.
Netflix, right?
Yeah.
Nope. Yes.
It would be unbelievable. You got John Anik, Joe Rogan, and DC on one side.
Oh my God, DC with the John Jones
You got
angle.
Max Kellerman, Ariel Helwani, Stephen A. Smith on the other side. I mean, toss in whoever else you want. You want Schwab.
Is this a $1 billion event?
I mean, if Turk is signing the check,
there has to be like a Radio Row, like Super Bowl, because they did a Radio Row.
Oh, they would have to.
Mayweather, McGregor.
You'd have so many tables of people.
Dude, bring Floyd on the desk, like Tom Brady on the desk. This is the type of level. Like, what athlete? Tiger Woods. Let's hear what Tiger Woods has to say about this. Like, who else?
Guys.
Michael Jordan. If they could bring in Michael Jordan, dude, just to say anything from his freaking couch with a whiskey cup.
Give me 15 seconds of MJ. What does that cost? 10 million?
This would be bigger than a Super Bowl advertisement. Like, you would see it goes, all right, we're going to head to MJ in his house, because that's an ego thing. He would not be live in Vegas.
He's sitting in his house. He's not even watching.
And he would be wearing some like gold-plated Jordan sign. Excuse me, not a Nike, but a gold-plated Jordan sign that it would be coming out the following spring. Like those little subtle type of advertisements. So many fashion would be brought into this. Movies. Dude, you can
you could make a movie out of this. I get the documentary ready. Give me a 30 for 30 for this. You can make a 30-30 that's 10 episodes long out of this. It would be the biggest thing promotion wise, I think, that Dana White could do.
And Dana White could be, oh my God. So okay. Wow. So on the podiums, if you split it, the Sheik could just stand in the middle. You know how Ariel has been Francis Ngannou's like?
Oh, he loves him. He's like his spokesperson.
You know how John Jones and Dana White, the whole GOAT talk last year?
Yeah.
And he's defended him a million times.
Dana will always defend him.
So you put the McGregor, Jones, Dana camp on one side, and then Paul and Ngannou, the disruptors to the UFC. We all know how Jake Paul feels, and we all know Ngannou is the one who went against him and didn't fumble the bag. And then Ariel Helwani.
It would be all time.
You have to do an hour presser. I don't need the 20-minute, 30-minute, 40-minute.
all time. I mean, I just hope somebody
Ngannou would be interesting to be on the same stage with Dana. Be
be
like,
in the same. I
I
know.
guess I'm not doing so bad for myself, huh?
The trash talk on here would be unbelievable. And we've never seen Dana like lean into anybody saying anything.
Stephen
to him.
A. Smith's got to moderate. Stephen A. Smith.
Oh man,
Dude, if we got unlimited funds, holy smokes. It has to happen.
It would be the biggest fighting event that we've seen.
No offense to Tom Aspinall, but no offense, but
Tom is good. I mean, if I look at the UFC rankings, which if you want to go back to Tom Aspinall, so it sounds like Tom, in the interview he did with Brett Okamoto, he did mention something about, it seems like there's something in the works. He wouldn't say what it was. When I look at the rankings, though, who does he fight? He's already beaten everybody. The only people he hasn't fought is Cyril Gane and really Jailton Almeida. Gane just fought for the title, and Jones picked him apart arguably in 60 seconds. Do you give him another title shot right away? I mean, I know it's a totally different opponent, but maybe you give Almeida that shot. He's ranked number 5. Aspinall's faced everybody else. There's really nobody else. You're not going to give him somebody out of the top 5. So it can't be anybody outside of those two. And I think losing to Jones hinders his ability to take that fight. So
I agree. And I'm going to add our outro music.
Yeah.
That was fun, Adam. That was fun.
Man. It was a beautiful first episode.
Yeah.
I love the back and forth.
We could have easily gone 3 hours, but
we could do this all night.
They're throwing away my drinks right now.
What do we do it for 10 hours when we go to UFC together?
Oh, yeah.
Just about.
Thank you guys for tuning in. No thank you to no comments. Don't be scared. I know we started out rough, but we are nice guys. We want to hear your thoughts. We want to hear your predictions. Let us know how much goes into that event, John Jones and Ngannou, Jake Paul, McGregor. Is it $1 billion event? Are everything's on the table? And then right as the fight's about to happen, the aliens take over the world.
We got to get a petition going. The same way people wanted Jones stripped, we'll get a petition going for the Ngannou, Jones, Paul, McGregor. It'll be great.
Well, keep track. We should be live tweeting this Saturday, live Xing, posting, whatever it is.
Yep.
Adam, I'm keeping track of these. I don't know if there's a wing emoji, but I'm gonna.
We'll be talking all night. I appreciate the back and forth, Ike, and good luck tomorrow at your fight.
Jiu-jitsu. As Ally Quinta said, unless punches are thrown, it's not a fight.
Yes, it's not a fight. Good luck with the grappling. I pray for you. The weight cut goes easy. I know you got a few pounds left, and best of luck to you later tomorrow.
Thank you, brother. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Like, subscribe, repost. We'll figure out more production each and every passing week. But next week, we'll be out. We already have a vacation day on the schedule, July 4th. Happy 250th birthday to our country.
Yep. There we go.
Anything else in closing, Adam?
Hot dogs and hamburgers. It's going to be a fun weekend. I hope everybody's tuning into the fights, and Ike, I will be texting you all day tomorrow.
Peace.